Welcome back. It's Bell Let's Talk Day, the annual initiative to promote and support positive mental health. Tonight, we're pleased to welcome Caitlin Morrison, Executive Director of Matthew Perry House, which honors her brother's legacy. And it is nice to see you. You are no stranger to the East Coast here.
It's nice to see you, and I'm pleased myself, and that's true. One of the most beautiful parts of our country, so I'll try to get there as much as I can.
Thank you for that. We like to think so. So tell us a bit about the place. Construction, you've broken ground. Construction starts soon in Ottawa. What's the mission for Matthew Perry House?
Well, the mission for the place itself is to give people a place where they can go, where they can access recovery supports for a longer amount of time, where they can do so in an environment that helps them rebuild not just, you know, a healthier way of living, but also their careers, their family relationships, their nutritional approach to life, you name it. Anything that can, you know, help people return to a life not just that they're ready to return to, but that they really want to return to, because it's pretty great.
There's been a lot of work in recent years, of course, to improve mental health supports, but post-treatment, that hasn't received the same level of attention. Clearly, it's important.
No, so it doesn't, and it is very important. You know, if you ask any neuroscientist, and I'm sure everybody knows one, they'll tell you it takes the brain a certain amount of time to heal, and it's sheer madness to assume that you know, treatment shouldn't last that long. But then the other thing that doesn't get addressed quite as much, and we're trying to address that too, is why is it that we only start to think about treatment when people have reached a state of crisis, when things have started to fall apart? Why can't we talk more about substance use health as something that impacts everyone, and about how, you know, it's not necessarily about use versus sobriety. It's about what is your relationship with substances. Do you feel that your quality of life is being impacted? And if it is, can it be improved by redefining what that relationship is? And I hope that kind of work might prevent people from getting to the point where they do need that long-term intensive care.
Okay, well, that's interesting, because we've talked a lot over the last decade or so about preventative health care, not just dealing with the problem when it gets into the hospital and everything that comes after that. So, you know, same sort of thinking with mental health?
Yeah, preventative health care for your brain, for one of the most important parts of your body.
Yeah. You say it's important to raise your hand. Don't do it alone.
I say that because Matthew said that, and it's absolutely true. You know, the inner workings of our mind, when we get a thought in there, a negative thought of any kind, and we keep it inside there, it gets louder and louder and louder. It's an echo chamber in there. And raising your hand, asking for help, admitting the thing that you're thinking, it takes a problem that seems unbeatable and it makes it a size that's manageable, and it surrounds you with people who want to help you tackle it. It's a fool's errand to think that that you can solve on your own, in your own mind, something that is, you know, lives inside your own mind.
I've heard you distinguish between, when it comes to your brother, superstar and hero.
Yeah.
What do you mean by
I've
that?
used that one.
Yeah, what's the difference there?
Well, you know, the superstar version of him, I love and I'm proud of, very much. He was incredibly funny, sometimes funnier off screen because he could say some things that would have been inappropriate for cameras. He was charming. He could switch from comedy to drama, no problem. He was, you know, he was a great writer too. He was just a very talented in a lot of different ways in terms of his career, in terms of what he did, and people knew him, and I've seen people rush him, and I mean, the dude was a superstar.
Yeah,
proud of that. But something that he did that is probably the bravest and hardest thing that he did was deciding that when he went through something that was very difficult personally, that felt like he was being defeated over and over again by something, he could have done that quietly. He could have tried to sort of keep those, you know, the details of the struggles to himself. But he decided he was going to share all of the horrible pieces of it, all the hard pieces of it, because he knew other people were going through it. And he thought, if I say this out loud, people might decide that they do want to raise their hand and they do want to ask for help. And I know that people do that because people have reached out to me to say, I want to let you know. Yeah. I read the book, I saw a speech, and I realized I'm not the only person who's ever felt this way. I realized I could ask for help, and I did, and life is so much better now. And so to those people, and to any future person who is impacted by what he did, he was not just a superstar, he was a superhero.
There's a concert documentary airing on Crave, musicians, artists sharing their personal stories about, you know, issues like that. Did you find all of them somehow lifted by telling their stories as much as, say, people who hear them?
I think so. I think so. You know, a lot of them that I've spoken to, you know, before and after the concert, they talk about how music to them is a balm to their soul. It's a very healing thing, and in sharing it, they feel like they're sharing part of that healing. But when they share the feelings behind it, that opens up a whole community of people. You end up drawing people to you who can relate to the things you're going through, and that's another way to not feel quite as alone, is sharing that story when you do have that platform. And so, you know, the concert itself was the most fun thing that I've ever done in my professional career of anything. The music was amazing, the artists were amazing, it felt like kind of a dream state doing it all. But what they are doing is the artists, what they're doing is that same heroic thing that Matthew did, and that is deciding to be vulnerable because it might help somebody else find a better life.
Caitlin Morrison, thank you very much for your time. We hope to see you back in the Maritimes soon, and congratulations on the Matthew Perry house, of course, and in the documentary. We appreciate your time tonight.
Oh, well, thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you out there again soon.
We will take a time out, but before we go to break, we want to let you know that if you are experiencing a crisis, we ask you to call 911 or go to your closest hospital. If you're thinking or having thoughts of suicide, you can call the National Helpline toll-free anytime. There it is on your screen, 988. We will be back in 2 minutes.